Hello everyone and welcome back to Good Nightmare. Today's episode is not so much about a particular case, but a landmark. The Cecil Hotel, now known as Stay on Main after some much needed rebranding, is well known throughout the true crime community. The Cecil Hotel is infamous for its link to many deaths, suicides, serial killers, and mysteries. In today's episode, we're going to look at the rise and the fall of the Cecil Hotel and some of its more notorious occupants. Before we get started, make sure to head over to Creepsville with Bella to hear about an in-depth look at some of the cases and some of the interesting guests. The Cecil Hotel, as we'll call it for this episode, resides on Main Street in downtown Los Angeles and was opened in 1927. The hotel boasts 600 guest rooms, some of which are currently being renovated to be used as residential units. I'm not sure who would be inclined to stay there for longer than necessary, given the history of sketchy guests and unsanitary drinking water. The Cecil Hotel's original purpose was to be a destination for business people and tourists. It was constructed in 1924 by William Banks Hanna and was designed by Loy Lester Smith. The project cost $1 million and the hotel lobby was complete with marble floors, stained glass windows, and beautiful potted plants. Unfortunately, within 5 years of the hotel opening, the Great Depression hit America. It was a time of economic crisis, leading to devastating social consequences, such as suicides and homelessness, among other things. The hotel managed to make somewhat of a comeback in the 1940s, when it was considered quite a fashionable travel destination. However, over time, as the area known as Skid Row declined, so did the hotel and the quality of its guests. By the 1950s, the hotel was known to house transients. There were approximately 10,000 homeless people at any one time living within a 4-mile radius of the hotel. While this might not necessarily seem so bad in terms of who these people might be, Skid Row is known for being an unsafe area. You would think that this would make the hotel a very undesirable place to stay, and for most people, it was exactly that. During the decline of the area surrounding the hotel and the hotel itself, suicides and violent deaths on the premises became frequent. The first documented suicide in the hotel took place when a man named W.K. Norton ingested poison pills in 1931. Between the 1940s and 1950s, there were multiple suicides recorded as taking place at the hotel. To locals, it was now called the Suicide. The hotel is also very well known for its ties to violent crimes and murder. It's rumoured that aspiring actress Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia after her brutal murder, was seen drinking at the hotel bar in 1947. This was apparently only weeks before her murder. A retired telephone operator, well known around the hotel as Pigeon Goldie Osgood, was found murdered in her room. She'd been raped, stabbed, and brutally beaten. While a man was originally charged with her murder, he was later cleared, leaving her murder unsolved. Now, if you're like me and you listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, some may say too many, but in my opinion, you can never have enough. The next two cases, or residents specifically, are ones that you're probably a little bit familiar with. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, was rumoured to have stayed at the Cecil Hotel for a few weeks. It's speculated that he may have actually been in the midst of a crime spree while he was residing in the hotel. Ramirez's famous stay at the hotel may have been what inspired serial killer Jack Unterweger to stay at the hotel in 1991 as a possible homage to Ramirez. Apparently, he was quite the fan of Richard's crimes. While Unterweger was residing at the hotel, he strangled and killed at least 3 prostitutes. He was convicted in his home country of Austria and hanged himself after his conviction. The most recent death in the hotel occurred in 2013, when Canadian student Eliza Lamb was found dead in the water supply tank on the roof. Her behaviour leading up to her death was quite unusual, and there's a lot of speculation as to how she ended up in the water tank. Personally, I don't think it was voluntary. But I'll let Bella fill you in on this story, and a few others. Make sure to head over to Creepsville on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts for a bit more of an in-depth look at the more interesting residents. Since Eliza Lamb's unfortunate death, there have been no other recorded crimes that I'm aware of at the Cecil Hotel, or I guess at Stay on Main. And where is it now? As of 2017, the Los Angeles City Council voted to deem the Cecil Hotel a historic cultural monument as its representative of early 1920s American hotels, and also in respect to its architecture's work. If I'm ever to travel to Los Angeles again, I guarantee you I won't be staying on Main. I don't have any further reading or interesting documentaries for this particular case or episode, but you can always find plenty of ghost hunts and recordings and theories on the deaths that took place in this hotel on YouTube. Just be careful that you don't find yourself awake at 5 a.m. looking at lizard people conspiracies like I tend to do on sleepless nights. If you have any requests or suggestions for podcast episodes for me to cover on Good Nightmare, make sure to send me an email at goodnightmare_s@outlook.com. You can also email me there if you just want to share your own experiences or ghost stories. I'm always up for a good ghost story. I'm also found lurking on social media at goodnightmare_s on both Twitter and Instagram. And if you're into books, you can also check out my book-related Instagram, excuse the plug, at Misery Reads. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe to get my name out there and allow others to enjoy it as well. And also so you can stay up to date with any future episodes. Stay tuned for a promo from another podcast, which I think you guys will be very interested in. As always, thank you for listening, and sweet dreams.
Hey y'all, Jen and Lindsay here from Corpus Delicti Podcast, here to tell you to check out our show.
If true crime is your thing, it's ours too, with a touch of lightheartedness and a dash of Southern charm. We cover compelling cases and crack them open for you.
Serial killers, hitmen, historical hallmarks, we've got it all, and bring you new episodes every Tuesday morning.
You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and most other podcast apps.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter too. That's CORPUSDELICTI.
See you Tuesday.